welcome back to my channel. I'm Debbie from Debbie's World. If I have an outfit change during this video, then please excuse me because I am just sort of trying different things on, and I've just done a charity shop haul, so I'm doing about 3 jobs at once. Anyway, I've come on to film a recipe today, and it is from the May-June 2019 magazine, issue 145, and it is the meatballs with roasted tomato sauce and giant couscous. It's on page 53. It is free on the plan, and you can freeze the sauce or the cooked meatballs in the sauce. So what you'll need for it says roast the first tomatoes of the season in their skins for a sweeter flavour, and cook's note says the tomato and garlic sauce can be made up to 4 days ahead and kept in an airtight container in the fridge, or pop it in the freezer for a later date. So what we'll need is 1.2 kilograms of large vine tomatoes removed from the vine. So I've got 2 packets of large vine tomatoes. Now I don't think this is quite 1.2 kilos, but I'm sure it'll be plenty. They're 420 grams each, so we'll see how we go with those. 4 garlic cloves, a tablespoon of cumin seeds. Now I thought I did have these, but it's actually fennel seeds that I've got, but I have got some ground cumin, and 2 teaspoons of ground coriander, 500 ml of chicken stock. I'm just going to be using no chicken stock pots, low calorie cooking spray, 500 grams lean beef mince to make meatballs, 300 grams dried whole wheat giant couscous. Now this is the reason that I've chosen this recipe, because I've got this to use up, this Foodie Market giant couscous, which is not whole wheat. This is from Aldi, and I've had this a while because I had it in a Slim of the Week basket or a raffle prize, and there isn't 300 grams here, there's about 150. So I'm actually going to make 2 servings up with the couscous and 2 servings just to have with whatever else I can find. And then it says sprigs of fresh coriander and cooked runner beans to serve. So we need to preheat our oven to 200 degrees and lay the tomatoes on a large baking tray and scatter over the garlic cloves. So let's get that done. So there is the vine tomatoes with some garlic cloves, and I've got my oven preheating to 200 degrees, and you want to pop these in the oven to roast for an hour until the tomatoes are blackening and ready to burst. So I'll see you then. Right, my tomatoes are roasted, and I'll show you the next step to do with them shortly, but first we need to make our meatballs. So I've got my 500 grams of lean mince, and I'm going to season that with salt and pepper, and I'm going to add some smoked paprika as well. I was going to add garlic also, but I remembered that there's garlic with the roasted tomatoes, but you can add whatever seasoning you want. And the magazine says to get 20 meatballs from your mince. Right, so I've got a large non-stick frying pan which I've sprayed with Fry Light, and if you have cumin seeds, you want to add those first and cook for 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm just going to add my ground cumin, which is 1 tablespoon. So I'll stick that in. And my ground coriander, 2 teaspoons of coriander. And we'll just let that fry for a minute. Right, so my spices have been frying for a couple of minutes. And here's my roasted tomatoes and garlic. Can you see that? You might have a bit more juice, but mine has actually been in the oven for quite a while. But you want to tip your tomatoes and garlic into the frying pan. With any juice. And then you want 500 ml of chicken stock. Let me just top that up a little bit. And you want to add 200 ml of the stock to this pan. And conserve the rest of the stock for later on. Once you've brought your stock to the boil, you want to take a spatula or a large spoon and just squash down your tomatoes, like so. And your garlic. Should be soft enough to squash with no trouble. And leave that to one side. Right, again I've got my frying pan heating up. I've just conserved the tomato sauce in a bowl. If you have a saucepan with a lid or a frying pan, then use the pan that fits the lid, if that makes sense. Then you want to fry off your meatballs. So I've got my 20 meatballs. And you want to fry these for about 3 minutes until they are browned. I hope you can hear me above the sizzle of the frying pan. But the meatballs are mostly browned off now. So I'm going to add back in my tomato sauce. And stir that in a little. Bring it to the boil. And when it's boiling, turn it back down to a simmer, cover and simmer for a good few minutes until the meatballs are cooked through it. The magazine says 4 to 5 minutes, but I'll probably just leave it on while I cook my couscous, which I'm going to do now. Right, so what the magazine says is 300 grams of dried whole wheat giant couscous. What I have is just about 150 grams of normal giant couscous. And the magazine says the remaining stock and 700 ml of water. Now I don't think you're going to need that much, but we'll see how we go. Obviously I'm using less couscous anyway, so I'm going to boil up my 300 grams of stock. Yeah, that probably won't be enough actually, so I'll add some water. So I've put my couscous in and I'm just going to add 100 ml of water, or not even that, that will do. Just make sure it's covered, the couscous, and simmer for 6 to 8 minutes. We'll just turn that down. So we've got our meatballs simmering and our couscous simmering. So there we go. You'll know when the couscous is cooked because it's absorbed all the water, and if you taste a bit it should be quite tender to eat. There's the couscous. There's supposed to be only 2 servings there, but I can tell I'm probably going to get 3 out of that. And then there are my meatballs. So I'll serve this up now and show you what it's like divided out. There are 4 portions of the roasted meatballs and tomato sauce, 2 with couscous and 2 just on their own for the freezer. A little bit of couscous left over for a lunch another day, Monday maybe. And I'm just going to get some salad out and some cheese, I think, because I still have my cheese allowance. So I'll show you what it looks like when I plate it up properly, and when I taste it I'll let you know what I think. Completely free, quite speedy with all the tomatoes, and I can add more speed. Only thing I'd say is, do bear in mind, in my opinion, the Slimming World recipe portions are quite generous. 300 grams of couscous is going to go a long way, so use your own judgment. But yeah, it would be too much for me, even over 4 portions, because there was 150 grams of couscous there, and it's made 2 generous portions and some leftovers. But anyway, that's just my opinion. You might be quite happy to eat the suggested portion, but I'm definitely going to add some green leaves and maybe some other bits of salad. There is the couscous and meatball and roasted tomato sauce with some green leaves, and then I'm just going to tip over my cheese and I'm just going to pop that back in the microwave to melt my cheese. Yum, yum. Right, I have changed into my pyjamas and eaten my evening meal, which was the meatballs with roasted tomato sauce and salad on a bed of couscous, and it was really nice. Yeah, really flavoursome. I can see why they put more tomatoes in than I used. It depends what your budget's like, I suppose, as to how many vine tomatoes you can buy. But if you can get another probably 4 or 5, then it would easily take those extra tomatoes. The flavourings, I wouldn't say really came across. I wouldn't say it was spicy or anything like that. It would take more flavouring in my opinion. But yeah, it was really nice and something different with the couscous. But if you don't have couscous, then you could easily do it with pasta or rice. So yeah, another great recipe from the new magazine. Feeling quite inspired lately, so look out for more recipes from the latest magazine. Let me know if you try this one, and I'll see you next time.